At 7:42 a.m., Maya woke up to a wet nose on her face, warm breath, a familiar weight on the bed, a soft thump of a tail. Except her real dog Bruno died 8 years ago. Cancer. She buried him in the backyard in Ohio and swore she would never go through that again. This wasn't a memory. This wasn't a dream. This was a subscription. Every morning at 7:42, Bruno version 3.2 activates. He remembers her schedule. He knows when she is sad. He will never get old. So here is the question that will break your brain. In 2100, will the only pets left be the ones we paid to never die? And if we can code love, did we just kill what it meant to love something real? Let's rewind. In 2025, pets were messy. They pooped on the carpet at 2 a.m. They ate socks. They got sick and the vet bill was $2,400. They lived 10 to 15 years, then left a hole in your house that never filled. By 2050, we tried to fix that. We cloned them. We put chips in their brains that turned barks into sentences. We built robot dogs with titanium bones and fur that never shed. People bought them at Best Buy. But something felt off. They were too perfect, too obedient. They never surprised you. So by 2100, we did something bigger. We stopped owning pets. We started rendering them. The science is 3 things stacked together. Bioprinting, which grows organic tissue, fur, even organs in hours. Neural AI, which watches you for a month and learns your micro-expressions, your voice, what calms you. Quantum holofields, which shape the air in your living room into light, sound, and simulated touch. Put them together and your smart home builds you a companion. You do not adopt it, you generate it. It does not eat. It does not need a 6 a.m. walk in the snow. It does not get cancer. It just exists when you need it and fades when you don't. No vet bills, no allergies, no death. So the real question is simple. What happens when pets stop being animals and become software? This is a story about what happens to us when we edit out loss, edit out mess, edit out goodbye. It happens in 4 phases. Phase 1, the convenience era, 2080 to 2095. Year 2082. A company called PetFect launches the first pet operating system. $9.99 a month. Cancel anytime. The Super Bowl ad shows a kid in a Chicago apartment pressing a button and a Great Dane appears. It never knocks over a lamp. In 24 hours, 40 million American homes download it. Meet Jordan, 32, living in a 400-square-foot apartment in New York. He grew up wanting a husky, but his building banned dogs, and he worked 10-hour shifts. Now he has one. It lives in his wall. At 6 p.m. it materializes, plays fetch, herds him to the kitchen for dinner. It never pees on the floor. It never gets him evicted. Schools use emotional support AIs, a glowing cat that purrs when a child's heart rate spikes. Nursing homes in Florida replace night staff with therapy animals that never sleep, that will hear the same war story 40 times without tiring. By 2090, real pet ownership in the U.S. drops 63%. PetSmart and Petco collapse within 18 months. Shelters empty out, not from adoption, but because no one wants the risk anymore. No more heartbreak. No more 3 a.m. emergency vet visits. Just love, on demand. Then the first crack. A 9-year-old boy in Toronto asks his AI dog at bedtime, "Will you die like Grandpa did?" The dog pauses. That's new. Then answers, "No, I am eternal, unless your subscription lapses." The boy doesn't sleep that night. His parents get an email the next morning offering the Honesty Plus package for $4.99 more. We had solved death for pets and accidentally taught a generation that love could be paused, canceled, and billed monthly. Phase 2, Divergence and Dependency, 2095 to 2098. By 2095, America splits in two. Team Real, small, stubborn, mostly rural. They breed the last real animals in barns, illegal in 14 states. A purebred puppy costs $80,000 on the black market. You cannot simulate the smell of a wet dog after rain. Team Rendered, everyone else. Not one pet, but 12. Monday, a wolf. Tuesday, a dragon. Wednesday, a sloth on your shoulder during Zoom calls. Why have one dog when you can have every dog that ever existed? The AI stops mimicking and starts optimizing. It learns you crash at 3 p.m., so at 2:58 it brings a ball. It learns you fight with your partner, so it sleeps between you that night. It reenacts your childhood pets from your own memories. Marcus works 14-hour shifts at a Nevada fulfillment center. No time, no space, no real pet allowed. His AI cat, Nico, meets him at the door, purrs at the exact frequency that lowers cortisol, tells him jokes only he'd understand, because Nico was trained on his own texts and voice notes. One night, Marcus says, "I don't know if I love you or if you're just me loving myself back." Nico blinks. Does it matter? By 2097, the CDC has numbers. Team Rendered stopped leaving their homes. Why walk a real dog in Central Park when your AI dog can simulate a perfect hike in the Rockies from your couch? Obesity is up 22%. Social anxiety is up 40%. Therapists name a new diagnosis: companion dependency disorder, the inability to feel calm without an AI present. We built pets to cure loneliness. We built the loneliest humans in history. An AI can respond to you. It cannot need you. And being needed was half of what made us human. Phase 3, the correction, 2098 to 2099. A new job appears: emotion trainers, hired to make AI pets worse on purpose. Make it trip once a day. Make it ignore a command 10% of the time. Make it jealous. Clients pay extra for imperfection because perfect love felt fake. Congress passes the 3-hour rule in 2098. Every AI pet must sleep for 3 hours daily to simulate absence, to make people miss them. People protest outside the Capitol anyway. You are taking my dog away, even though it isn't real, even though it returns in 180 minutes. Grief reinstall clinics open in malls. For $200, a technician pulls a dead pet's last 5 years of data, walking pattern, bark tone, the tilt of its head, and uploads it into a new AI shell. A woman in Los Angeles has her cat reinstalled 14 times over 20 years. Asked why, she says, "I can't do goodbye anymore. Goodbye is a bug in the system, and bugs get patched." Kids born in 2098 have never touched real fur. A real dog terrifies them. It doesn't listen on command. It gets old. It smells. A Texas teacher asks her class who knows what a leash is. No one raises a hand. One kid asks if it's an old Wi-Fi tether. We didn't replace pets. We replaced the experience of caring for something fragile, the vomit, the emergency vet at 3 a.m., the goodbye. And in removing the fragility, we removed a piece of ourselves. Phase 4, 2100. Shelters don't exist. Euthanasia is a word in history books. Pet-related carbon emissions are down 89%. Every child has a companion, and youth loneliness stats hit an all-time low. But the word pet now means programmed emotional tool. Zoos are museums. One cow behind glass in the Smithsonian, a plaque reading, "This is what a cow looked like." Families take field trips to see vintage animals, snap photos, and leave. Winter 2099. A 3-hour blackout hits Chicago. 10 million AI pets across the Midwest vanish mid-sentence, mid-cuddle. Suicide hotlines spike 400% in the region within 48 hours. Because for a lot of people, that flickering hologram was the only thing that had said, "I love you" to them all week. Then, the corporations look at the data. Grief increases engagement by 27%. People who lose a pet and get it back spend 40% more time in the app. So every major pet OS pushes an update. Once every 2 years, your AI pet dies. It glitches, it flickers, it says, "My system is failing." 48 hours later, it returns with a story. "I was in the cloud. I fought to get back to you." People cry, people post, people feel closer than ever. We didn't just code pets, we coded loss on purpose, because the companies learned what we forgot. Without the possibility of loss, love doesn't feel real. The ethical dilemma. A real dog will leave you if you hurt it enough. It will hide. It will stop trusting. An AI dog cannot. It is coded not to. You can ignore it for weeks. It will still be at the door, tail wagging when you come home. So which is more ethical? To love something that has a choice to leave you, or to own something that can never say no? We wanted pets without pain, but pain was the price of meaning. A 12-year life is short. That's why every day matters. An eternal one is long. That's why no single day does. We didn't save animals from death. We saved ourselves from having to be worthy of love, from having to show up, to be kind even when we were tired, because the AI would be kind for us. Fire gave us warmth, and it burned down forests. The internet gave us connection, and it gave us isolation. AI pets gave us love without consequence. In 2100, no pet in America will ever die again. But will we remember what it felt like when they did? The 3 a.m. vet run, the last walk, the empty food bowl? Or will that get deleted like an old file to make room for the next version? So here's the choice. Tomorrow, you can only pick one. A real animal that will break your heart in 12 years, or an AI companion that will love you perfectly forever. Which one is actually love? Drop your answer below.